and maybe changing the meta of how to build a championship team. Kamusta mga Insans? Welcome back to another episode of Insans Out of Basketball, your Pinoy podcast for your NBA, Vancouver, and Filipino hoops discussions with your Insans Intan
and Jello. Welcome back mga Insan to our pod. Me and Intan are going to be talking about a few things here, especially that there's no more NBA basically, right Tan? But today we'll be talking about like OKC's championship, the recent trades that's been happening. But before we jump into those discussions, Tan, don't forget to what, Tan?
Don't forget to subscribe. Okay? We know Filipinos have very big families, so tell your lola, lolo, tita, tito, mga insan nyo sa buhay nyo, mga kaibigan, lahat na kilala nyo.
Yeah.
Please don't forget to subscribe.
It's free. You don't have to do anything. Just subscribe, guys.
Yes.
And again, like let's be part of this journey. We want an NBA back here in Vancouver. That's why we're doing this. And again, we're just trying to show support to the our first thing here is the Vancouver Bandits, right? Like we have a game happening here in Saturday. I believe that will be anong date yun? June 28th. We have the Filipino Heritage Night game. Langley, Vancouver Bandits. So please support them. We talked about this on another pod, so if you want to hear about it, like go look at that pod. But today, Tan, we'll be talking about the championship, and I'm a little sad because I was hoping that the Pacers would win, but the OKC Thunder, the Oklahoma City Thunder, is your 2025 NBA World Champion. Yeah, let's read out of course, right? It was a game seven. Game seven. It's the best two words that you can hear NBA. Game seven. It was pretty good, but I was a little sad. Like I think it was like 4 minutes, 6 minutes into it, I lost a little bit of hope because Tyrese Halliburton got injured. But we'll talk about Pacers because we gotta give some flowers to the OKC here, Tan. You were rooting for them, so I know. What do you feel about this? Like them winning the championship, our MVP winning it, our Canadians, two Canadians winning it. What do you feel about this?
It feels good to predict the winner, the OKC Thunder winning, and it feels even better that we have our two Canadians winning it. But there's a lot of asterisks to this to this ring, But even though, a lot of people are saying that maybe Thunder have the easiest route to the championship, they get lucky a lot of times. I think they played well. They deserve this championship. I know they're gonna have a better chance of winning the game with Halliburton than without him.
Yep.
But man, the second half, Thunder played an intense defense. They made a lot of turnovers. They forced Indiana into a lot of turnovers, which turns into easy points. SGA and J-Dub took over the second half, and man, I'm happy for OKC, man. It's nice to have a team that isn't just collecting superstars, making a big superstar team, and maybe changing the meta of how to build a championship team. They're setting an example, and I'm happy that a small market franchise wins it this year.
Yeah, I could agree. And again, like I think we would probably be saying if Pacers win, I would probably say the same thing. In a way that this is really good for the NBA. I think it's just really good for all the smaller markets too. Again, one of the things we said from the past podcast, and it's because we were rooting for Pacers during the East side, is they were the healthier team. And that's part of the whole championship run, right, Tan? Na parang if you're healthier, you win the championship. And it was just so unlucky that when I was rooting for the Pacers, they lost because injury. And you can say that Tyrese should have just rested a few games and kind of like not risk it, like let's say game 4, 5, 6, whatever. so it doesn't aggregate. I think you talked about it too, that there might be, I think, Achilles here. Like there's a chance.
Yeah, I, you know, when people say there's no good thing that happens after 1 a.m. or something like that, there's no good thing that happens after an injury near the calf area, the lower part of the leg.
That
And
sucks, man.
I said that last episode. Man, that's a hard thing to battle through because you're betting your future for the chance you have now, and they were so close, man. I have to give it to Pacers. They are one game away. They played their heart out. Even when they were down by like 15 or something, they went back to 4 points from TJ McConnell playing like a
Yeah,
superstar
like
that
a
game. He
superstar. I think
was
I was
gassed.
texting you. I was texting you.
He
I'm like,
was
TJ
gassed, man.
McConnell, man.
TJ was he single-handedly brought them back to 4 points. They were so close in that third quarter, but like I said, SGA and J-Dub took over. But man, even in the fourth quarter, they were down by almost 20 points, I think, but they were cutting down to 10 points, almost single digits. So
Yeah.
I I I have to give it to them until the last second. They were fighting, man. They were fighting.
And I don't know, I've been seeing a lot of things about like, is this a Mickey Mouse ring? Is this they
Mm,
have such a asterisk and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think so. Like this
yeah,
is one of those things where I think this is so it was so obvious that it's because they have so much depth that even I think we talked about it. If SGA gets injured, like you would still kind of bet on OKC to win.
yeah,
That's how good the depth was. That's how good they were. There's so many players that you can just be like, oh my God, I can rely on this person. I can rely on this person. Like you can rely on the 7, 8, 9 guys. No, and that
I
was
thought
such,
so too. Yeah, I
and
thought
then that
so
was
too.
a good thing. And like you can kind of say the same with Pacers, but it was such a big loss that the injury happened at the game, and I feel like
Mhm.
mentally they were just like, we're done.
Yeah.
This is not good. Like mentally, don't you think? Like that probably like occurred to them, who and
Yeah,
like resulted in that such fatigue. Because I think TJ played well, and I feel like if he doesn't have that, in his mind, and that it was hitting fatigue, right?
yeah. I think that also he's not. I don't think he plays a lot of minutes, so
He
maybe
doesn't.
he's also not
Not used to it.
conditioned to play
Yeah.
that long. And he was like running fast, getting in the paint, shooting jump shots time and time again. So I get that it's tiring, especially when like the whole offense is just him, just bringing the
Yeah.
Pacers back. And when you're talking about the huge loss of Halliburton, I missed the first half of the game because I have work. But when I saw like the highlights, he was Halliburton was turned up on
Yeah,
the
I think he
first
had like
quarter.
three
He
threes.
had 3 out of 4. Yeah,
Yeah, three threes. Yeah.
75%. And like you see him like shouting and turning up the fans and looking at the fans like I got this like this is nothing. This is not game
Oh, it
7.
would have
I
been
don't
so
care.
good.
He was turned up, man. It was about to be a game 7, man. So prayers to Tyrese Halliburton, help for fast recovery. But sadly, I think he's gonna miss next season, which a
I
lot of
think I
stars
know
think.
it's already been announced that he's gonna miss
Yeah,
the whole season
season,
next
right?
year.
So the
But
East is
okay.
wide open
Eh,
next year.
okay, let's pause because I feel like we were gonna give flowers to OKC, but majority of the conversation was Pacers. But okay, let's give flowers because I
Yeah,
saw another thing. I saw another thing here. That is
yeah.
the trio of SGA, Chet Holmgren, which we haven't really talked about. He
Hmm.
played well, by the way, that
Ooh,
game. I think there was like, I think either third or fourth quarter, it was like multiple blocks in a
yeah.
row. It was crazy. I don't know how many blocks he had, but
I think he
anyways,
had 5. I'm not entirely sure, but
five
yeah.
impactful ones because I think they lost like their confidence. But anywho's, SGA, Shai, got Chet Holmgren, and Jalen Williams. Are they the better trio than the KD, Harden, and Westbrook era?
It's tough to say. This is spicy stuff, This is real spicy stuff, and it's hard to discredit the trio of Durant, Westbrook, and Harden because I mean during that time. they put OKC in the map. They were time and time again in the playoffs, and I think they were iconic. Even if they didn't win championships, they were in the finals. And the management, I think, blew it up when
Too
they traded
early.
Harden. So I wouldn't want to put down that trio. But this new trio of SGA, J-Dub, and Chet is still new. But I think if they win another one, I think they can surpass that trio. Maybe even
And
very, very close to that now.
I think I was gonna say that if they keep intact, which I think they will for this
Yeah.
next season, at least, is they should be not even considered. They are the better trio if they get another championship.
Hmm.
If they keep
Yeah.
this three core that they have, I think they're the better trio.
Hmm.
Like they're gonna go down as
I
one of
think not even if they get another championship, if they just be consistently in the playoffs battling it out, I think they will surpass the older trio because they did not win a championship. So
and again, it's such an unfair, I
yeah,
think, comparison because the trio now is basically they created a whole career and they're a Hall of Famers, right? But
yeah.
I think the trajectory of this three, especially like if you just try to put them individually, right? Like Jalen Williams was already getting Scottie Pippen, I think, right vibes, right? From what I'm
Oh,
seeing. Chet Holmgren is again, he's basically battling one of the faces of the league, which is Victor Wembanyama, and that's also a big thing. And now you have a championship before him, right? And I don't know, there's such their
that's a good
ceiling.
point, actually. That's a good point because we know Wembanyama is on a different path of trajectory in terms of might be winning multiple Defensive Player of the Years, MVP years. And there is probably very, very few players who can stop them. And one of them is in OKC.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
they have to hold on to that because there's a special player in Spurs who just went to China, buzzed his head off, ready for the next season.
Yeah, he's
So
ready mentally, physically, and I think he has
everything,
such a
man.
passion. And I think that might be like what's different with Chet. But at the same time, like in terms of ceiling, like don't you think even if he's so close to Wemby, and again, we're still talking about who's the better trio. They're already the better trio. If he can be a little bit of the
Hmm.
same of Victor Wembanyama. And like again, in terms of those trio, if they battle 3-on-3, which is it's a bad comparison, they
Hmm.
have already a point guard. They already have a power forward. And you have a center. That trio didn't have a center. I don't even know who's a point guard there. Like both during that time, like Harden was the sixth man. Like see, I just feel like in terms of OKC only, like just looking at that, they are the better trio. But again, he ceiling wise, I can see the current OKC trio to be
I
better.
think I think they're very close, but we have to give flowers also to the Hall of Famers in KD, Harden, and
Oh yeah, no,
Westbrook.
no, no, definitely.
They put OKC on the map, so
Yeah,
I have to give it to them.
yeah.
But I actually want to say something very, very spicy, very, very fire take. When talking about the finals MVP in SGA, the season MVP as well, when watching the first 6 games, I actually thought he was one of the worst players in the series.
SGA?
SGA, this is
Oh my.
spicy because he was one of the worst players, defensive players in that team. And I thought he was forcing a lot of shots. A lot of people are saying that he is not shooting efficiently, but in the seventh, in the game 7, he was passing the ball when he was doubled. He is playing a better defensive game, and I think that is why they were deserving because he stepped up even more, even though he was doing a lot already offensively, which was probably the reason why he was lacking defensively, but he stepped up even more and he contributed to assists and just team play overall. So I think I just want to give flowers to SGA and he and them are deserving of this championship.
And I might be wrong on this. From what I remember, it was 35 assists, 35 points, 11 assists, zero turnovers.
In the last
So,
game,
yep,
wow.
I might be
He,
wrong.
he
I
was
think it's either
he
game
was
six or it's
playing
game
so
seven. It might have
well.
been game seven.
It
But
was it was a different player that I saw in game 7 than the rest of the series. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
but I think we'll end that. We'll end it on that topic. Then I think OKC really deserves it. I really do so. We're just we're just saying what I think other people are saying, but I think that should stop because I think OKC really deserves this win. They, in terms of
Yes.
just how they've been built, we have the MVP, we have our Canadians there. I just think like they really do deserve it,
Yeah,
and
and also, yeah, I want to say, yeah, they are deserving, but I hope that the Pacers does not blow their team out. They are one game away, one injury away from winning it all.
I and
They have a great chance. They didn't blew it out. They didn't blow it out last season. What is one more season or maybe two seasons because Tyrese is not playing next season to retool, just retool, not rebuild and go for another shot. They are so close. They are such a good team, man. I hope they don't blow this
Okay,
team.
well, we'll talk about that in maybe another video. Let us know if you want to hear
Mhm.
that. Like, let us know in the comment. Let us know if you want to see, because I think we wanted to talk about that a bit, but we'll end it. We'll stop our conversation with Pacers and just give the flowers to OKC, our new 2025 NBA champions. And again, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. We have another spicy topic we want to talk about here in the next vid. But yeah, Tan, what do we say on our pod?
All right, mga insans. Insans out.